Why in the world would you stay pregnant for 20 years? Some giant sequoias stay pregnant for 20 years. Some of you who've been pregnant are like, ooh, I don't know about that. But the reason why they can stay pregnant so long is for a good reason. So kind of put yourself in their shoes or their bark. So if you were pregnant, but you didn't have a job, and say the baby's daddy didn't have a job, so you're like, oh, now's a bad time to have a kid. I think I'm just going to stay pregnant. And then maybe you're getting ready to have a baby, but there was no room in the school. So you're like, I think I'll just stay pregnant for a little bit longer. And then you didn't have a job. So you're like, oh, I'm really broke. So maybe I won't have a kid right now. And so next thing you know, 20 years has passed and you're finally, you like have a job. Baby's daddy has a job. School's got some openings. So you're like, you know what? This is the perfect time to have a kid. And then you have your kid. That's what the giant sequoias are doing. They can hang out in the cone on the tree. The seeds can hang out on the cone in the tree for years and years and years and years, waiting for the right conditions. They might be waiting for a fire to come through and clear everything out, because giant sequoias depend on their seeds to spread. And you're like, aren't all plants like that? No, they're not. Coast redwoods can do epicormic sprouting. They can sprout out of the base. If you cut them down, they can sprout out of their roots. They can sprout. But giant sequoias need to come from a seed. And they need the conditions to be just right. And so after a fire goes through and it burns down the competition, that is the time for you to open up your seeds, because the fire will come up. The warmth will open up the cones. See how it's opening up? It will open up, and then the seeds will fall out after the fire kind of burns and passes, and they'll fall, and there's no competition from any understory plants. And that's when they can grow easily without competition. And so when it's dry, hot, there's a fire underneath, their cones will open up, drop the seeds, so the seeds fall, and now there's bare mineral soil because all the plants are dead, so they don't have to worry about landing on leaf litter and drying out, and now they can grow. So they can stay pregnant for 20 years. Now, we don't have this kind of luxury, folks, because we're humans. Let's just do our best to make sure that we are always trying to have the best conditions to have our kids, future generations of Americans. And one of the ways we can do that is by protecting these very special places. Redwoods don't exist anywhere else in the world. Giant redwoods don't exist anywhere else in the world. They only exist in California. And we want to keep these for future generations to be able to come out here and enjoy and experience this sense of awe that I've been experiencing all day long. So we can do that by supporting restoration and preservation efforts. And you can learn how to do that. Help us heal forests by going to savetheredwoods.org and redwoodsrising.org.